Tesla popping to the highs now. TSLA, Tango Sandy Lima Alpha. Tesla right now at $299.98. Up about $4 on Tesla. Over 300 now. TSLA. KLG, Ferrero to acquire Kellogg for $23 per share, $3.1 billion. That's Kilo Lima Golf, KLG. Shares of Kellogg pulled back here, 22.69, closed at 17.50 yesterday and traded as high as 28.10 after the close. Now at 22.56, again being acquired for $23 per share at Kilo Lima Golf. TSLA Tesla, $301 now, continuing to make new highs. TSLA.
Wow, look at that. Hasn't been that high in a while. Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting these set up for hopefully a better day than yesterday.
MP Materials, 47.40 now, the high on Michael Papa.
I want to jump back to Tesla to see what the heck's going on. I don't know if there's news on that Tesla.
XPOF, Exponential Fitness, enters exclusive retail supply agreement with Fit Commerce effective December. That's X-Ray Papa Oscar Foxtrot.
I guess it's not bad news. It's generally good news for Tesla, so it could really move today. We definitely want to keep an eye on that for opportunities. I mean, yesterday's had major opportunities, and I was stuck the wrong way. But a lot of people did well here, as well as I got lots of comments and emails about people that did very, very well yesterday, except for the ones that did what I did, unfortunately. I'm just at a point you just stop using the old drawing set and you just see what we got here. We're right up in that top channel. We're right up here. See if we can get any kind of support or resistance off of the data up in this channel area. So I'll mark those a little stronger than I might normally, just because that's where the price action is. And then, as always, we have to just see if anything's being respected. These are just, guidelines to help us. Some people don't like them, don't use them. I find them to be very helpful myself. There's usually, a few that get respected, and then that gives you some backbone to make the decision to go in or go out. Hello, Miss Shiitake. Yep, you're stepping on my keyboard. You're here to give me good luck after yesterday's debacle. I don't know if you guys watched the recaps, but I did end up green. It would not be a road I would suggest people to take, but I did end up green after all. But yeah, that was a painful. I think the most I was down was 800 something. But yeah, when you're trying to make $100 a day and you go down 800, the difference, the way I look at it, and I'm going to do a long video that's not streamed about this strategy and about my thought process. I look at what I make on an average day, and then typically I don't want to lose more money than what I would make on an average day, which is around 5,000, is what my goal is. So no, I would not have rode that to 5,000. I think I said 1,000, but 1,000 against trying to make 100 overall or make $20 on a trade. Yeah, you could look at that like that's crazy, but if you're gonna recover, then it's not crazy. So it just depends on how you trade. I trade a certain way, and that was the opening trade. And I don't want to get into a big defensive thing, but I mean, I trade that differently. The sky's the limit on the first candle. Then I got stuck in it, so I'm kind of stuck in that mentality of what is a max loss on that, where it would be far less on a typical up and down way we're making this money. I would never like it, to the hundreds of dollars. I mean, I think I've got to like 119 or something and held because of the price action. Remember, I'm only going in 25 in my position, but I 25%. But I normally say, that my max loss for this strategy is the share size. So if I'm 200 shares, I don't want to go over $200. Now, I learned that from channel trading with the RV strategy, which you would set your loss between a channel because you're trying to traverse the whole channel. So I'll do a whole video about it. I think a lot of people don't understand, and no matter what I say, don't trade the opening candle. Like I say it constantly, I'm going to do it, but I'm telling you, don't do it. People do it anyway, and apparently they want to blame me. Yes, which is what I expect. I expect it no matter how many times they say trade on your own, speak to a licensed financial advisor. I guess for all those people that complain, who was the financial advisor you spoke to before you took that trade? Just, don't come back on me. It's my greatest fear that you're blaming me, So yes, in theory, day trading for success, in theory, more than just theory, is trying to teach you right now how to make $100 a day, and it's trying to teach you overall how to make a living, trying to teach you. That does not mean I will always trade
continuing to spike
a
in,
certain way. In the end of the day, I am taking you into consideration, as you know. I hope you know that, because I say it all the time, why I don't trade the way I normally do. But I'm starting to come around to the conclusion, and a lot of feedback from the people here, just trade like you normally trade. And if they don't like it, then they won't watch it, So I don't know how much I can't, it's not my job to protect you. And, I don't know how good I could be at it because of the, emotionally you get hijacked. I don't think I was hijacked on that trade in any way. The only thing what I did is I didn't trade it like I normally do. I would have gone to 800 shares much sooner, and I might have even gone to 1,600 shares, and I would have been able to get out for a nice profit had I done that on the first decent pullback. But I was worried about you guys following me, or that you can't do that. So, hey, what do I do, Professor? I can't do what you did. And I guess I can't be responsible for that. I can only give you guidelines, and that's what I have to come back to. I've been taught for many years, many years, and it's the same kind of thing with students. I taught math and logic. Smart kids that went on to MIT and stuff, smart kids I'm very proud of, where they ended up. Very, very, very successful jobs, high up. And there's always that, out of every 5 words, they listen to 2 words. It's just everybody. It's just a human nature, because your mind drifts off. It goes off to something, and you forget. Then you try to puzzle back what I just said, and you might get it right, you might not get it right. That's something that just happens every time somebody speaks. So although I've said don't trade the opening candle, every single time I trade it, I tell you shouldn't probably trade this, or trade it very, very, very low share size. You do it anyway. People do it anyway. It's just like, well, I want to do just what he's doing. It's like, well, I trade a different way. That's why I say don't do it. Now, when we get into the consolidation, it's probably a lot safer to follow my calls. But again, I can't take responsibility for it. Then the other thing that happens with students is just like if you count yourself as a student here, through, like I said, many years of teaching, you decide that you know a better way, or I'll take some of what the professor says, but I'm going to do this and I can do it better. And that also is human nature. And thank goodness, right, that we always, most of us think we can do it better and challenge it and evolve, because this is just the way he does it, because that brings us around to the really good traders, or the ones that really push the outside of the envelope and teach me and everybody else stuff, because they think they know a better way. So you don't listen, and you think you know a better way, and that's the nature of the beast, and that's what you do. And then the people that don't do well, then they want to point the finger after they've not listened and think they have a better way. They want to point the finger not only at it's your fault, which I don't know how many times I can speak to somebody else, but it's my fault when you lose, and probably not I don't get the good stuff when you win. I mean, not everybody's like this guy. I'm just speaking generally, but Charlie pretty much takes out stuff that's really inflammatory, and she'll let me know, like, hey, there was a couple, but she won't tell me what it says, what they say. And then anything that's not like stuff that is going to hurt the channel or hurt other people, she lets through, because we're not trying to completely muffle everything. But if comments are designed to hurt the channel or hurt people watching the channel in some way, then we're not going to let it go through. And what I would recommend is that, and there was a few of those, just like, yeah, sorry you lost money. I'm sorry. I'm not really that sorry, because if I take that burden on, guys, I'm just going to drop dead, and that's what's been being talked to me, is like, stop trying to take on the burden of people. You can't do it. It's a little different here than teaching a math class, because now people are risking their money. It's not like they're building a future to a career, but they're actually risking their money. And it's been one of my great fears, that to not take responsibility for that. So sort of my worst nightmare happened yesterday with a, not just a handful of people, but if you really want to talk to me and not be worried about offending the channel or whatever, you really want to get your speak your mind and your suggestion, email me, because then we can talk, like really talk, and it's not something that I have to worry about a bigger apparatus, like day trading for success. So anyway, but hopefully I think most people didn't go short because they couldn't go short, or they were in an IRA or whatever, and they did really good. And then the market overall, aside from me, did really good. There was lots of action out there. So wished I could have been trading that with you and not been stuck in that position, because later on I got to trade it. And I stayed on NVIDIA, if you watch the recap, and came out green. But I didn't want to switch from that stock. That is not a stock I would have traded at the power hour. That stock was barely moving at the power hour. But I wanted that stock to be green so I could show you I got green on that stock. Isn't that crazy? That's just crazy, because I could have been making way more money than the $194 loss I took when I got out of that original position on just trading a different stock that was actually popping at power hour. But it's just, I wanted to say, hey, it can be done. I'm trying to show you, like, hey, you can. So I am being affected by this as well, by trying to put the right message forward, But anyway, back to make sure we're ready here. So this is what the scanner is showing us again this morning, on the 1 minute. The 1 minute action, this is the volume per 1 minute on average on one day. This is on average for 10 days. This is right now. And again, NVIDIA's. Now, because of what happened with NVIDIA, I'm definitely skeptical about trading the open. Not because I'm worried about you guys. I mean, me personally, the way it had been going up and then retracing, it might just start to step up now. So it might be a really good long possibility, which would mean it's not normally the way I trade unless it comes back down and bounces. I don't like to just chase them. So, but can be a lot of opportunity there. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. And then this whole thing, we're up $7 on Tesla on basically no news other than there's going to be a board meeting. And it was a little bit. I didn't see anything big. So this could be a real mover today, or a lot of volatility. It's number 2 right here. I would trade much lower share size because of the ATR, right? $16 ATR. These are going to move much slower, not get you into a terrible position. And then we made a lot of money yesterday on Palantir. This was great action and good channels. And why don't we take a look at that? If I've done, have I marked out? Oh, I'm on it right now. Yeah. So if you look at yesterday, this was just incredible, the amount of opportunity. So I got in around 10:30, which is right here, this area, right? We definitely called it off the fib, made a big bunch of money going up, and then reversed off the fib, and then made a whole bunch more money. I think I captured, I called out a few in here too. No, I'm not. I'm already out now because this is on a 5-minute chart. So we really only went to about right here. Now, I do remember continuing to trade in a little bit further in. So this is 11 all the way back here, actually. But I remember making that dip. So we were excited, and we kept trading later. That this was giving us RV trading style action into the day, and it continued to go into the day. I mean, this was a great stock. So I don't know if it's going to be good today that same way, but it's got a really good pre-market consolidation pattern here. Look at it. It's just really nice and easy. So if you go to break out the RV levels, ATR levels are going to come in. This could be amazing today for the RV strategy, and we may want to look at it at the other strategy too. So for the RV strategy, I'll call out right now, NVIDIA, maybe, Tesla, Palantir, AMD. Those are all 3 worthy of looking as the RV strategy. On the open strategy, I would look at Tesla, Palantir again. That's a day trading volume 4. Make sure you look for those breakouts. And then, this is just amazing. For a 30-minute breakout or the overall pre-market breakout, Now, a lot of people like to trade the 5-minute and 15-minute breakout, so you'd have to wait a little longer. But that's just my assessment on these big ones. Now, I didn't even look at the scanner for the RV, but I can look at the stocks and tell you, this is a possibility for us today. So I'm still trying to decide if I want to start with NVIDIA or not. We got quite a bit of time here, so why don't I go into Hood here too and see what they look like. We'll start anew here because I want to get a brand new assessment on what we're looking at here. I'm sure some of these lines could be reused, but I'm not going to. So look at that spike, huh? Jeez, that was the other day. So there's a high. Remember, your fibs are always left to right, guys. You can't go wrong if you just remember that one thing, left to right. So look at that. That time it lined right up. Let's look at these channels based on the fib, which is the oldest historical data you can ever get as far as what the heck does Fibonacci levels mean? Well, it's like time travel. Look at this action for, I always like to look at it for the RV. We've got so many great channels that are, they're pretty big here. That's 80 cents, 79 cents here. So you'd want to get those down to 25-cent channels if you're doing the RV strategy. But we also would want to, mark these for doing just a scalping strategy. Look at that hit here again. And this kind of didn't quite make it across here, smoothing through here. It looks like it rejected. This is probably going to be 94.77. Remember, I didn't zoom in. This is just a guideline because you never want to trust these 100% anyway. Like I said, some people just think they're ridiculous to even mark. But I like the guidelines of marking these. This is more or less on the even dollar here, this spike, which will fill in. If this goes up, that's probably a sharp resistance maybe, so remembering that. And then the fib is picking up our levels for us. That's what I love it when the fib picks them up. I'd probably do that high there of that open session and maybe this low down here of the open session. And then you got enough in the area here because you've made those channels much smaller. So when we get into trading the intraday here on this, then we might make some more guidelines based on where there's some pop turnarounds, bull flags, bear flags, tweezer moves, morning star, evening star. If it turned around on those candlestick patterns, then it's a good idea to make a note of it. Some people can just remember it on the chart, and to get those small moves of what we're trying to trade today, small moves. So we've got now NVIDIA, Tesla, AMD, Palantir, and Hood marked out. I'm not going to jump down to Google or to Supermicro unless we just get nothing here. Now remember, I don't have that much time with you guys either. I mean, at the most 45 minutes. A lot of that time we are waiting for a move. So, it seems like on average there are 7 to 12 trades for our entire session. So, and that's because I'm waiting for the better trade. I think that you should keep an eye on this risk oscillator when we, right now it's nonsense because it's not going to be the right numbers. But when we start to trade the stock, you're going to want to keep an eye on it to see the range of what you should think about getting in and out at. And then this is very helpful. I tend to not call it out as much, but I'm always looking at it to just see the momentum inside the candle. What is that momentum just before I get in or get out of a trade? So I do look here all the time. I do constantly look down at the news. You should have it somewhere just before you get into a position, particularly. Is this about to go the other way, or is it about to pop? I miss them all the time because it comes up and I'm focusing up here, and then I go like, I wonder if I should go long there, and all of a sudden, boom, and you see the news story 1 minute ago or something. These are the stocks moving the most today. Delta must have news. Huh? Boy, if you've ever traded like the airlines sector or the like Ford or GM, talk about thickly traded, and just one penny just You sit there all day. Those are for longer swing trades, or just no trades at all. Just hold them. Not just my perspective on those. So just some stocks just do not move. And I've tried everything over the years to see what's going on, or I've been directed to try everything. That's interesting. Yeah, so a lot of the news from the Fed was just it wasn't great news, right? They're worried about inflation because of Trump's tariffs all going into effect here. So, and again, is it just more games he's playing, or is it, one of the things I think that the Fed said like 20 times or more yesterday was the word uncertainty. So we don't like uncertainty, but I think that the people generally just want the market to go up, man. There's a very optimistic tone out there. So I am a little, I'm a little perplexed as to what biased I want to call today. I think the future showed originally slightly down. If I look at this, let me just open this up again. Yeah, let me zoom into this again. So let me just see yesterday compared to today about long or short bias. So we're above the high. This is due for a retracement. If it popped up, it's due for a retracement. But boy, am I gun shy. It decides that it wants to be at 170. So I do not want to get in the same position I did yesterday. And the problem is, if you jump in long, like your IRA accounts and stuff, it might just pop and then just start going down to where it was. I don't know if it would go back down that far, but in this consolidating area that it did most of the day yesterday, which is why I couldn't quite get out, because it was just above my position, if you remember. So I got out for like $194 a loss, and then I scalped like crazy and got green. But crazy, I think 8 trades, but whatever, it got me green. The way it was moving, though, those 8 trades took like an hour, so it was very frustrating. But, I did get there. So, yeah, calling this is tough. It's got a new high. That's where I set the fib. Normally, I don't set the fib on the same day pre-market. Normally, I would set it here. But I decided to do it in view of the action. Is it more of a real ceiling here? Yeah, so I don't know if our ATRs are going to come into much effect here. So 62, yeah, so the ATR high, RV one's going to be like right at this level, and the high is going to be up here. So we'll already be breaking out of the ATRs, which maybe I could use as that. But, I might as a retracement level, but I might want to just trade something different. So let me take a look at what we all did so well at yesterday, which was pound here. Let me take a look at this with the same microscope for this. We still got 10 minutes, so yeah. So this is way up here too. Is this like highs? Okay, no, we got, all right, so 148.22. So that would be a level where you would definitely want to go short off of if it got that high, but it seems like it's fading here. What's our news on this? Well, that's really good news. That came out yesterday, and then these did, and then this is people read this stuff, and then they might not read it right away. They might read it when they sit down, when they wheel up their chair to the computer at the open, and then it takes another 15 minutes or a half hour for them to decide to do something because they're not doing retail trading, and then suddenly they affect when they drop in on the first 15-minute, hour candle. They might drop in a long, and then you think you've got a beat on what's happening, and then boom. So it's a good idea to just keep an eye on it, even though you say to yourself, like, well, it's not doing anything. It's not Yeah, remember not to be on my IRA. It's not moving. The news is worthless. No, it's just that people react to the news at different times. You got to remember it's very slow compared to you guys that are dialed in. So I don't know. This is one that I would think about shorting as it if it sprang up to like the fib, at least short term, and then it might be longer for the day. I mean, it's already gone up, so it might have already worked that into its price. And that's another reason why I think I might trade this at the open. So I'll do a change. What's our ATR on that? Our ATR on that is $6. So it's $6.26. So not quite double what NVIDIA is. So it would be a different type of action. So what is our average 1 minute candle moving on those? Let's take a look at the range. Well, here's the range here. But let's see for the open market what our average 1 minute was doing. And that what I'm trying to do right now is I'm thinking about my I can't get to the I'm thinking about my share size. If I'm going to play that strategy, what do I want to do? So let me look at yesterday. So you get in this area. Yeah, it went down. Look at that yesterday. I wouldn't have had an opportunity there to do that. And I might have caught that on the way up. This is the first 5 minute breaking here. But you take an average one here and you see the range of that 5 minute is 69 cents. So really the range is not very much on these because you divide that, but $1.07. So this is like 20, 25 cents, 20 cent candles on the 1 minute. That's a pretty big range, and that's not bad. I think I probably will do this, and I will try for just 100 shares and just play it a little safer. For those of you that should not follow me into the open and do the first candle, you should wait for the consolidation, because this is just seat of your pants trading, and I don't feel very comfortable with you following it, especially after the remarks yesterday. But this is the reality of the way I would trade. I would trade this way. Okay. I've always said in all of my videos, for the RV strategy, the escalator strategy, the open strategy, don't trade the opening candle. I beat that into everybody because I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what crazy person's about to hit that key and lose all their money because I said to do something. So I cannot be responsible, guys. Remember, please read that. Pause. I guess you can't pause on a live stream. It is on every video, though, so you can just go look into more information if you've missed it here. And just a suggestion, again, I might not keep showing this because people are following my suggestion. Now, I found out from a couple of emails exactly, and this is not, you need to make your own day trading plan. This is the important thing here. What do you feel safe losing per trade and per day? These two things. That's what I want to hammer in. It might be the only thing that I show. This is the style of trading, the strategy I'm showing. You don't need to do it this way. You could go in half in, all in. Again, it's you making these choices. These are the guidelines I mostly follow that I kind of designed to be safer, but a lot of people would say that's counterintuitive. That's not safer. And then, of course, a lot of people would say, how can you go down, to $1,000 when you're only trying to make $25 on a trade or $20 on a trade? Like, boy, that's a good point, right? That's a good argument unless you take in the whole way I think about trading. And yeah, if you're not capable of doing that, then it could seem really, really not a good move for you. Okay, guys, so I think I will go in on the opening candle if it goes up. I will look at the half and whole dollar lines as they light up, and I will think about retracing like I did before, adding to 200, possibly 400, which would be my full position on this stock if it goes up. And then I would not, let me just take another look at this. Got just moments here. Yeah, so it would have to be, it's break 48.22. See, we're so is that really that we're really $5 down from that position? Oh yeah, so we're $5 down, but that was a spike. We're really more $3 down. So yeah, this is dangerous. You get 100 shares, you get 200 shares, suddenly you're $500 down if it keeps going up. So yeah, you got to be careful here. Now, I would like to see it. Oh, it's spiking right now. Yes, it is. I don't want it to spike now. You see the buy-sell oscillator popped up. You can't really pay too much attention to these, the MACD, the buy-sell oscillator, the risk oscillator, directional indicators on the pre-market. You don't want to do that. It seems like everything is functioning correctly for everybody. So good luck, everybody, today. This is the Professor with Day Trading for Success. Thank you for coming here. I think we're going to be naming our show soon, and we're getting special software for streaming. We're going to try to step it up to make it a more enjoyable, entertaining experience for everybody. But in the end, it's just about the trading, right? I've got some background music on. You've probably heard. Probably half of you hate it, and half of you love it. It's just I don't want to feel like I have to talk constantly, and I'm so used to doing that as a quarterback. But we do a lot of sitting and waiting with this strategy. So here we go. We've got about 45 seconds. Oops. Got 30 seconds. That's good news. That should send it up short term, at least. That came in at 921. I think I saw that before. No big players waiting on this one. Nothing. 1,000 shares is the highest. There we go. Yeah. That wasn't a big enough spike for me to get in. I will try to grab that. Missed it. I'm going to cancel my order there.
ST Microelectronics.
So there was a chance to get a good trade right there, briefly.
To accelerate metasurface optics.
Comes up again now. It's going to be a bit stronger. Yeah, it's not coming up again now, though. So, okay, so we didn't have a good opportunity on the first 1 minute, it looks like. Unless it hits us right at the last second here. So maybe all for the good. I could have caught that, maybe, Maybe I should have sold the bid. It might have picked me up. Now if it starts to break it on the second, it might really be making a move up, so I'd be less likely to play it that way. Yeah, here's the second candle now, so nope, it's fading. Everything's down. Look at get a pulse indicator. So especially on the 5 minute and the 15 minute, everything's down. So this action is pretty lame. We got to be careful here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait for some consolidating action here to try to look at the levels it seems to be moving into, and it's too soon. Well, maybe it'll give me a chance to short up here off the fib. I would short off this fib. So that's 144 even. It didn't quite get there. Stopping at the 50 cent here. That's what I'm looking to short off of, guys. So 84. Yeah, there's a big spread here, so at least there was for a minute. See the action it's given us? I mean, it has given us some openings here. It's swinging back and forth, so you just got to catch the swing and not have it keep going, once you get into it the wrong way. So if you did trade, long, you had a good trade there, Man, it's just grinding right here at this level. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, there it is. Okay, I went in. Oh, and of course it's going to try to hurt me. It's long enough now where it might really be, making a move. So I want to be careful to add to this 100 shares much. Looking for a fast retracement to get out here. Is this going to be one of the ones that moves on that news? It's got a ways to go. Here's your ATR up here. It's got a much bigger ATR level.
Zulu Echo November Alpha, ZENA.
I will average down to this if it gets up, probably on the 145 even. It looks like it's going to give me a chance to get out for some money here, so let's see. Nope. This stock's got some great action right now. I like it. It's going against me, but not really, because I could easily add 100 shares here, and probably have a better op. Okay, so it does have a reversal sign there. If I'm going to add, it's like now or never to make more money, but I shouldn't say now or never, but 69, 145 even. I will add at 145 even. Oh, wow. So now I'm in it, guys. So I'm at 144.54 looking for a retracement. And unlike yesterday, I would probably take a loss here before I let it keep going on me. This is a good opportunity. It should work, but who knows? Who really knows where the market will take us today? I won more than $7, so I didn't even attempt that. Actually, might just trust in market here to get out if it gets me down far enough. Because the spread's pretty big to just go immediately into the ask, which it probably will do anyway if it, Does seem like it wants to reject here if you look at the price flow. So I'm looking for a big pop down any minute now. There it is. So $33. So that one worked out. I hope you guys got it. It's a good opening trade. It wasn't on the account, but we just passed the 5-minute here. So think about that. Is it going to decide that it wants to go up all day? Do we want to play it long? I don't know.
Coming up at 10:30, natural gas storage, Fed's wallet.
I mean, I think it's long. I think I would be long biased on this, at least up to the, into the 146 range. Stair step up if you're in your IRA. I mean, I might think about that. Look at the target to go up 40 cents versus short. So that retracement was, a lucky move. I lowered my share size back down immediately. But, it could fade here, so let me look at this. Now this is enough data to take a look at this. Yeah, see how the volume dropped. Now the sellers are winning out. There was a battle right in the middle as the volume was dropping too. So that's not a strong sign that it's going to go up right now. It doesn't mean it won't, but it just... Yeah, I think I'm going to still play it. I'm long biased, but short for retracements. I'll take the shorts if it springs up here again to the 145. I would short off of it, expecting it to slowly climb still, but try to catch the retracement. I might go long off this fib. That's 144 even. So you got the 9 right here. You're right at that fib. You've also got the VWAP and the 14. And I want to see what everything looks like. Oh, okay. That's going to drive us up. See that? That's the market magnet. Watch the magnet pop. Boom. All right, there's a springboard. Get that indicator, guys. So give it a second. Give it a second, and then it should go up. I'm not taking the trade, but I'm going to still try to trade it off short bias. But I think that this will spring up now. Sometimes it takes a second. This is data that's already happened, right? But it didn't. Let's see. Oh, it hasn't done it. There it goes again. It's like double pop. Wow. I will buy down here at the even dollar if it gives me a chance. It hit 07 on the bid. Wow. Okay, I got in right there. Let's hope I made the right move. So after the magnet didn't do what it was supposed to do there, did it? Oh. Yeah, we got a $15 trade there off just 100 shares rather than the 200, so that wasn't bad. So it's giving us retracing action going up and down. So this is what happened yesterday at the RV strategy. We killed it. And somebody did 18K in like 40 minutes or something. And I did well myself, not that much, but yeah, it was just an amazing stock to trade yesterday. So kind of wanted to get back to it today and see what we could do with you guys. Because both ways, big opportunities, right? This is a great little indicator. It kind of tells you right away, like, hey, look what's happening, either direction, you know? So there's a reversal sign, but at the same time, it just broke through the 14. There's the 20. I probably wouldn't go long till I see 50 cent, the 50 cent mark here. But going off the fib's not a bad idea, you know? I'm more of a short trader than a going long kind of guy, but don't hold confidence that people will look at the stock in a favorable way for it. So MACD turned it around, buy sell oscillator turned it around. It's hard to, and then this is the top of the market magnet set for large caps. So there's a lot of things saying no. It just broke through all these levels again. So I would love it to get a little higher so I could retrace this action in here. Just see what is that at? Don't get into a grind here now. Give us some more fun opportunities here. So this is still the price actions. The overwhelming price action is right up here. That's already happened, but the magnet's down here. There it goes. So it's it should bump it up. It didn't last time, but you know, nothing's always right. I would definitely go long off the fib again, though, based on that action. So let's see. That's 144 even. I would go long. Short would be more up here. I'll break that $0.50 and go more up here. A little higher to go short. There's the $0.50. So we get it in the 60 cents somewhere in there. Is it going to fade off the $0.50? Looks like it. This area is good for short too, in my opinion. Picked me up. So that was a quick 12 bucks or something there. Off of that level, you know. I didn't actually see what I had it at, but I think it was in the 60 cent range. So now I'd be looking to get off the even dollar, 145 to go short. I'd like it to kind of break it. It's got a 145.16 as its high today. Again, it just keeps retracing. So if you miss it, it seems like you have an opportunity if you don't get it in a big drop. My thought would be if I caught it in a big drop against my position, high or low, I would hesitate to add until I see what it's really doing. It's just hesitate to up my position to half. Just keep it at a quarter, and you can't get in too much trouble then, right? So Okay, it really wants to break that level. That level, believe it or not, I marked it just intraday, seems to be getting respected, although we do have a rickshaw man doji telling you to turn around. So it just keeps fading off that 60. I broke to 70 here. I'm looking at the ask because that's what I would hit to short it. But I'm going to wait if I short it to get way up here. So, or just prior to that where everybody jumps in at the whole dollar. So there it goes. It broke down. So that was a nice bull flag. Not perfect, but that was nice. And when you see that, it should go the length of the pole, which it did not. 82% accurate. It would have been better if this was red and then these were green, so to be a perfect. So 144, I will go in if it gets down there off that fib again, or if it drops just below it real quick, like it did last time, I would look to get in to ride that up. No new news. Keep an eye on that. I almost took it at the 04. Not sure it would have got me, but it was tempting. Yeah, I'm actually going to go bid and ask because I'm worried about the spread. I'm not going to do it the other way, buy ask instead of buy bid down here. That wasn't what I wanted. Get out. Okay. I saw it at 01, tried to pick it up. I think it was at 07. I didn't really look, but yeah. So it sprang off that. There's the trade, and I didn't get it. Look at that. I should have got in. I tried, but I just didn't get in. You already had your 20 cents right there. So again, great action for us to pick it up. Now the magnet's right here. So let's see if that pushes it up. So you have the risk oscillator and the buy sell oscillator for a split second said no, go back down. There's the buy sell. The risk oscillator is the lighter red. Okay, so it picked me up finally. Somewhere I wanted to be picked up.
BRT shares trading lower.
Tried to get out at 19 bucks. See if it swales down. Looks like it's about to. So should pick me up at the 19 now. Oh, hit 17. It just didn't quite do it. I worry as it took longer now. I should have just probably got out with market. I'm letting that hold for a quick swale down. Let's see what happens. About ready to cancel that order. Because it might be just too greedy. Maybe I should just try to get 10 bucks on this trade if it gives me an opportunity. There it goes. Okay, boom, down, pick me up. No, still holding out. I see nothing that says it's going down right here, so yeah, I'm going to cancel that order so I have an opportunity to adjust quicker. So we're at, right at the 145 now, which would have been probably a good spot to average down. Average in half my position. If it jumps down here, I'm going to just make sure I get out on a buy market because I'm not trusting the action. It looks like it's still going to go long.
Papa Tango Hotel Sandy, PTHS. Share is spiking here, $21 on PTHS.
Stay on target. There was $5. Probably wouldn't have got it though. The spread, the slippage would have got me. Wish I would have averaged in at the whole dollar up there. There we go. There we go. All right, 83. So that probably would have been a good time to buy the bid because it was consistently going down there. So we had to wait a minute, but it worked. Now I would go long off this fib. We've created a really nice channel here. So what's the danger? If it breaks it and then you're too quick to add to your position, to go half into your position. So if we decide to go long here and it breaks it, take a breath. That was what I would do. And just make sure we're not getting a big move down and just take a, it might be better just to take a loss with a lower share size, whatever share size you're trading. but this is going to get us to where we want to go today. This stock is being very predictable. I'm not having to count on the indicators as much as the historical data levels, which is great, and the flow, which you can just see. If you just watch the price, you can see the flow, higher highs, lower lows as it goes. I put this up here to help with that too, because it's hard. Level 2 is really hard on large and mega caps to get a beat on here, because the share size doesn't seem to affect it unless you can look at a wider lens, so it's hard. So yeah, I want to wait for this to get up before I short it. We're right in a spot where we wouldn't have the best position, so you want to be patient here. Just 17 minutes into the market. There's no patterns on the 5-minute or 15-minute, nothing to get us concerned. It's a split on the market pulse for the Q and the SPY. So there's no new news here on this stock. Carl's not announcing any new news over the wire. So we got to wait now because it's suddenly getting harder to trade this. Give us some price action here. But it's consistently moving. I was going to say 20 cents. I looked up here. Yeah, consistently giving us a 20. I would stop at probably 10 or 15 cents with my share size and just take it. And don't be greedy. So it broke the 9 moving average, which is the gray line, and the 14 moving average. So it's getting stronger as it comes down. There's the 20, and there's the bottom of the market magnet, which is 50% of the volume profile level. So that's an important one. And then there's the VWAP right there too. So I'd love to see this go down to this fib, go a little bit lower, but it seems like if I did a smooth level, it seems like it's more like in this area, it's kind of smoothing, even on this opening thing here. More right in there, the $0.25 might be where we have to get in early, then average down here just to get the move, because it seems to be tightening. It's tightening here. Remember, it was 30 cents, 40 cents. So it's starting to tighten as we get in, as the volume goes down. Sellers are winning out here. There's a morning star there. Well, look at the volume come in, right? So magnet's above it though, so that means usually that's going to pull it down, which is going to hammer this through this level. What could happen here? It's stuff that already happens, but see it hammered it down. But that means that those are people in the position, or so things are going to continue to go that way. It hit the 27. Boy, it's kind of where I smoothed this. It seems to really be right at the 20, looking at that level. All right, so we're going to go short again, it looks like. Better opportunities up there, right? Oh, this pulled down too. So that's at the 80. 68 is that line. There was a whole bunch of buyers coming in. Oh, and then it dropped. Look at that. A little harder to read here. Could have caught that. I was waiting for a better move. I'm trying 66. I've got it waiting to pick up. There it goes. I will buy the bid if it goes down. Good for a double digit at least. Tried that. So we broke the 100. So if you traded along with me at 100 shares and you broke the 100, you should stop. But you're your own person, so you do what you want to do. Now, for those of you that I still have some time. For those of you that aren't there yet, I'll continue to call a few more for you. Even for those that have judged me harshly. Yeah, I like this stock a lot. I think you could feel comfortable trading this throughout the day, following, safe guidelines here, just finding your channel. That's all about the RV strategy, guys. Channel trading in scalping now. So it's like the looking inside the RV strategy. Wow, look at that, huh? One more bump before I get in, and was that it? I'll try it. I'm looking for a double digit coming down on me here. Oh, is it going to hurt me? Oh, it's definitely given us opportunities here, guys, to get in and out of these trades. So I'm way down here at 70 cents. There we go. So now 115. Well, I mean, you guys, hopefully I got you closer to your 100 if you're not there yet. Remember, NVIDIA just seems to grind even besides the open, where we barely get $6 or $8, whereas Palantir's really got the moves here. I don't know what's going on with Tesla. Oh, it came back down from, so it's probably just consolidating. But you know, why move when you've got this kind of price action? This is great. Now remember, at any time it could just suddenly start trending a direction, so you've got to be prepared. This would be a spot where I would buy for sure, but there's a warning bell, like it might stop moving the way it's been moving. So there's 94. As that broke the fib pretty strong there. Market's down, remember, everything's down, so be careful here. Tried to get out up there. Didn't pick me up. Here I am right here, 07. It seems to be heading that way, but it's kind of taking its sweet time. There it was again. That should have picked me up there. That was, oh, I guess not. All right, I'm going to cancel that order and get out. I'm going to sell market if it gets up there again, because there was two good opportunities for 10, 12, $16 there that it didn't pick me up, and now it's fading, so that's too bad.
Now up about 2.8%. Tango Sandy Lima Alpha at a high of 307.92.
This is the very thing I was talking about, that it could start to make a move down. So I'm hesitant to add to this, frankly. So
NVDA.
I really just want out of this move if I can get out here with any kind of green. This is the first time it's broken its sort of pattern, so I want to reassess.
ABVE share spiking here now. Alpha Bravo Victor Echo, ABVE. Above food ingredients, shares spiking here. 87 cents, penny stock popping here now, up about 132%.
I will add here at the $0.50 if it gets that down there.
Company earlier this week announced the merger with Palm Global.
But I'd rather take like $3 or something. I'd rather just get out. I don't like the way it's moving. And that just made me reassess that I don't like. Now I'm thinking about maybe not adding. So be careful here, guys. It's just definitely changing its stripes right here. So be careful. It can hurt you. I might take a loss here just by the way it's moving. Yeah, not good, guys. Now, I do not think I'm going to go in at the $0.50. Not going to go in here. Getting ready to take a loss. By the way, this is moving. I need some sort of sign it's going to rebound. I'm not getting it. Yeah, I'm just going to take a loss. So, oh, I didn't. I bought. I was going long. What am I doing? Okay, so now I'm 200 shares. So, as a professional trader, it pushes the wrong button. It got me in a better position here for a brief moment. Not exactly what I was thinking about doing here, but yeah, it's still hurting me, so that's too bad. So I worked hard, but you know, I would have been down only $60 off that 115. So that was a bad trade for me, and it did that. The very thing I was warning about, it just started to make a new move. Now, where does this end? I don't know. So that's why I'd be hesitant to go long here.
McDonald's at the highs now, 298.50. McDonald's shares up 1.8%, getting an upgrade this
Yeah, there's
morning
a level
from
here.
Goldman Sachs, from a neutral to a buy. That's Michael Charlie.
Hopefully, you guys, if you made your money, you didn't keep trading there. You never know why a stock moves around up and down. You just make notes of where they are. But the whole market is going down here, so I need to go long here. I'd need some real evidence to try to get this back again, you know. Okay, so there's it turned around at the 43 even, starting to move up. See if it can break the 43.50 or give us a couple of green candles here. So remember, get out at your max loss and you'll still be green most likely. And again, I think this would be a good stock to trade today. I think it is slowing down, so I'm thinking to try to rebound, I might switch to go take a look at Tesla. All right, so that's a double sign that it's going to keep going. So again, I'd like to see it get up here toward the 9 before I go long. It's the long that killed me, though, right? During that whole darn thing off the fib. I got hit with this move out of nowhere. That's what happens. Had I stayed in the move, gone to full share size, I probably would have been out somewhere right here and made a profit. I just didn't, there was no sign that wouldn't just keep going. Yesterday could make you a little gun shy, right? There's no new news on this. It's almost like the shorts here. Would I be making some money on the retracement still here? Because it's not going up very fast. So if I wasn't greedy, I could probably make some moves as it goes up if it continues to go up rather than go long and then suddenly it decides it's not going up. The retracing action here. So you're definitely stronger going down. See the target? So it made itself a nice little bear flag to go down here on the 1 minute. Yep, should have gone off that level. I'm not going to go long here, guys. That is so tempting. It's like calling to go long right there. Calling me. The 50-cent mark right there.
Our XST getting a pop to the highs now. Romeo X-Ray Sandy Tango.
Thinking about right there, getting in. Yep, I could have probably done it for quick 10, 15 cents there. Now it's going to go down. Here it goes. Here goes a little boom. Be careful. So that's your $0.50. Our next historical data is almost all the way down, 50 cents down. And there it goes. Really making a downward move here. But look pre-market, it was below it. Boom. Tempting. Not going to do it. Hope you guys didn't go in long here. That's why I was worried I didn't do it. Yeah, I'm losing faith because I can't, to trade it, I mean, because I can't trade a trend. You know, I can't, if it doesn't give us any retracement. There was a little sign there. Let's take a look at, I'm going to take a quick look because I'm running out of time at Tesla here. Let's see here. Let's take a look at what we got here. All right. That gave some scary looking action there. On the 5 minute. It seems to be retracing right now though. Hope you guys took your money and ran before that last trade I debacled. So we're right at the ATR. Look at that. Interesting. We're going to go only 50 shares here because of the higher ATR. Let me get a look at the flow here. And it seems like it's really 103 seems to be an area that it's respecting.
Feds Muslim said the economy is in good place with labor market at or near full employment. There is some upside.
Same stories as earlier. Oh no, that's a new story. After Grok just got censored the heck out of it, it's making an announcement about it. All right, so it's banging on the ATR. See if we can work our way back up to what I lost there. What was I at? 38 bucks on the other, so I need to get like $62 somehow. MACD's turning it up. Boom. That's right at, I think the 304 might be a good spot to try to retrace it down on a short, and then I'll go long off the 303. That's what I'm looking to do, just so you guys know what I'm thinking. Sell the ask at 404. I lowered my share size. Wow, it's kind of grinding in here, huh? I thought we were going to get better action. We got 4. That's a dollar channel, though. It's just really staying in here. If it popped out here, then it would go up, you know, almost another dollar the other way if you had to add to your position. If you got a low share size, that's not so bad, you know, to get in halfway in at 100 shares. Sometimes it doesn't, you know, you saw in the early of Palantir how it was so easy to call, and then it trended down. Sometimes I'm not going to stay here more than like 45 minutes, but sometimes guys, you just wait until you see these type of situations again and then make your next $100. I mean, I was obviously forcing it a little bit as it went down, which is not what I would recommend doing. Yeah, it's really respecting the ATR, which is just below the 304.
Trends on inflation in recent months, but the outlook is for it to increase forward.
It jumped up right when I picked it.
DAL Delta
14
CEO
bucks on the first trade.
Says demand has been stable since resetting to a lower growth
So
rate.
that broke pretty
Earlier
far,
this
so
year,
be careful
although
here.
demand for air travel remained similar to last
And if you're
year,
still in long,
the
you're doing
softness
great.
largely contained to main cabin and particularly during off-peak
Again, I'll still look at that
periods.
level or
DAL
just below it
Delta,
to go long,
following their
and I'll
earnings
look
report,
at just
this
above the
morning.
ATR
Delta
to go
shares
short.
right now are
Volume picked up
at
a little bit,
or
it seemed,
near
on
the,
that last one. Yeah.
Intraday high, up about 13%, $57.17. Delta's CEO says the fundamentals of the U.S. economy are solid.
MACD, sending it up. Getting tired of waiting for the 304 and thinking about getting in at the ATR level, which is like 303.92-ish.
Travel, that's CAL.
Your next candle might break it up there. Nope, it's fading. Look at this is going to pull the magnet down up here.
Fed's Musalem.
So this might drive it down here.
Tell if tariffs will have a one-off or a more persistent impact on
See if the magnet actually comes down off that. That means there's more volume. You know, that's your largest amount of average volume. It's still way up here. So I've been keeping my eye on that because I'm worried about going short when there's a lot of people holding positions up in here. But now more and more are going to pull this down. You see this suddenly stretch across. This will pop. There it goes. So now that's likely to push it down within a 1 minute time frame unless, yeah, see this is receding. They're getting out. There's your VWAP. Usually it takes about 30 seconds to a minute and then it goes down. Usually, not always. I don't like the grinding action that's happening here. There we go.
Delta CEO says on the supply side.
All right, I went ahead in on that move up, intending to possibly add to the position if it keeps going strong up there. I'm looking for a double-digit down, not an $8 trade. I might change my mind and if the flow is going the wrong way here, though, and just get out. I'm at 15 cents, so I'm right up in the area where it's at right now.
DAL Delta CEO
taking too long to go down, not making me feel comfortable.
Are scheduled to contract as carriers adjust to environment.
Magnet pulled it down. It should go down.
Performance.
It'd be good if it did what the indicator said to do. No. Wow, look at that. Take a look at these levels. You got another fib up there.
Also adjusted to a
hesitant to add right now. I'm taking a look at this overall. That was at the 305, I mean, which was, it rejected off the, but if it breaks that, then this is not a good position to add to right now. So I'm going to hold this a minute.
Delta CEO says adjusting our capacity to match demand and aggressively
Tesla can hurt you
to deliver on our commitments.
If you got this long, then you do it. This is not good. This is coming up, so it's gonna pull the magnet up. There it goes.
Fed's Musalem said inflation expectations
got a long way to go. 306.
Dollar weakening could add to inflation.
Not going to jump out yet. I can bear the loss more than this quite a bit. So yeah, very tempted to get in at this level up here to average into 100 shares. Would bring my price up to 304. Like here, so I would get up into this level here, which it hasn't tapped in a while, so not the best time to average in. More than $1 out of position. And we have a lot of people trading in here. So it's not really a bull flag because it broke half the pole. But some people might read that as a bull flag and jump in here. Boy, I'm on a... That's why you want to stop when you make your money.
Delta correction. Fed's Musalem said could late this year and early next year could take till late this year or early next year.
Tesla is the death of me. Broke the 306.
Dollar weakening could add to inflation.
God, it could have just been that news at 9:12 that, it sent it up. I don't know. And I'm tempted to add on the way down. If it gives me another red candle going down, I might add in to get it to bring me up closer to the retracement. Now, of course, I'm near my time, and I get into a bad position when I'm near my time. So I've got to go to the other trading.
Musalim says critical for the Fed to keep long-term inflation expectations anchored.
I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here. I'm at 304.96 now.
Expectations are what allows the Fed to be responsive to changes in the labor market.
So I averaged into half my position size, hoping for a retracement here. Magnet didn't pull up, and that gave me the guts to look for it. And the sellers didn't even make it to the top here, so I don't know. That's not good buy, but at least they took over here. So there they go. They're taking over, and the volume's picking up. So let's give me a chance to get out of this position, please. So I'm getting closer, but no, not really good. Charlie's got everything set up over there to go to the RV strategy. And they picked Tesla. So I'd be in the same stock. It did have some good channels here, so they're wavering for Palantir and Tesla for the RV strategy right now. So I can wait this out a few more minutes.
On track
right at the magnet, unfortunately. I've got no other indicators telling me, and sellers are losing. There we go. I was going to say sellers are losing some of their strength here. So
soft across both domestic and international markets. Says expect improvements in main cabin margins as industries demand and supply rebalances.
If it breaks that, yeah, I was worried it would use that as a support. 305.50. Darn. If it broke it, I might have added to the full share position on the way down to get out quicker. That's not good. So it's making a nice little bull flag here on the 1 minute. Yeah, there you go. Get down there. Break the 50 cents. There we go. Now we're cooking. Going back up.
Delta executive says post-summer have proactively adjusted capacity to address areas
well darn. It looks so good.
And off-peak flying.
I think I'm going to go into my full position up here, guys, and go for it. Let's see, 12. Oh, it broke out the... Yeah, I'm going to go in for my full position here. Pick me up. Okay, so I'm now all the way 200 shares, and I'm looking for a quick retracement to try to get out here.
Musalim says labor supply seems to be declining, which may be due to slowed immigration or other factors.
Almost. Yeah, I would have slipped. So I was going for a bigger green, but I don't know how greedy I want to get here.
DAL, Delta CEO, says our outlook reflects stable demand across both consumer and corporate segments.
There we go. So it ended up working out for me by going to full position. It's a bit risky, but, you know, that was a nice bull flag too. But This is actually, guys, this would be a good RV one. I'm thinking about it. I see why you picked it now.
To the highs here, up about 5%
So
now,
what do we do? Oh, I didn't because I
$73.
lost it on the other trade. I'm not at $100, unfortunately, but I do have to move on. I did make the 100, but I lost it. But anyway, guys, hopefully you did a little better than that. We'll just add this into the. I think I'm still averaging 100 a day, but I'm not sure if this is going to hurt the average. But I think we did good. I think we did pretty good today, guys. I hope you did pretty good on this. So I will see you probably tomorrow. Look for the recap, and we'll go over what happened today. And I will be doing a video that is, when I'm not streaming, that is more about this exact strategy and what you should expect and how you should set it up, and just a more detailed one. But obviously, seeing the live trading is really helpful too. So, okay, guys, listen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time here. Be careful out there.